We're at the 2021 NPC Wheelchair Nationals, and I'm here with Xavier Vazquez. So, now this was your first show, and you were that close from getting the overall. So how did it feel competing for the first time?
Oh, honestly, it was a great experience, man. Like, it was something that I've never experienced before, and it's an experience that I want to keep having for the rest of my life. Honestly, this is what I like to do. This is what I want to do, and obviously I want to get to the pro level. But to me, it's more of just enjoying the whole process, getting on prep and meeting people. You meet so much amazing people who have so many stories that motivate you, not only to do better in the bodybuilding, world, but as a person.
Yeah, you did phenomenal. You look phenomenal. And I saw that, you got a higher injury. Right. So a lot of people may not know your story. So what happened? Why are you in a wheelchair?
So January 3rd, 2011, I was at a soccer game after, it was a soccer game for school. And there was pretty much it was a whole drama with this guy who kept passing by just screaming stuff at me. And obviously being 15, I didn't think right, I was immature, I made dumb decisions. And I made the decision of telling him to meet at a park so we can, solve it out, pretty much fight. And he agreed. Obviously, he already had a plan, So once we got to the park, everything was pretty much set up. There was so many cars, so many people that knew him, that had his back. And whenever we got there and I got down from my truck, we started fighting. And that's when one of my friends screamed, and he's like, "Hey, Xavier," he's like, "guns." And I turned around, and right when I turned around, I see his face, and I see that he's pulling out a gun and he's pointing at my head. So all I remember was that I turned around and I covered my neck, thinking the worst, and I dropped. I didn't feel the gunshot or anything. I did feel the gunshot on my leg, but I didn't feel the one on my back. So when I was on the floor, my friends kept telling me, like, get up, like, let's go. And I remember telling my friend, I'm like, "Dude, I can't move my legs, like, get me up, I can't stand up." And he thought that I was kidding. He's like, "Man," he's like, "you just knocked out." He's like, "Get up." And I was like, "Dude, I can't get up, I don't feel my legs, like, can you please get me on the car?" They put me in the car and they were driving me to the hospital. The hospital wasn't too far from where we were at. And even still, when I was in the car, they were still shooting at the car. You would hear the bullets hitting the car. And maybe like 2 minutes before we got to the hospital, I had to tell him, like, pull over, dude, I can't breathe anymore. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't take a whole breath. And I didn't know that I was shot on my back. I didn't know that I had a big gunshot wound in my back until I was in the ambulance. That's when the paramedic, he kind of like stood me up just to put patches on my back. So, just the typical patches that they put to like your pressure and all that. And when he went back, his fingers went inside my spine. That's how big my hole was. I got shot with the 45 caliber bullet expandable, meaning it shattered everything. It made a huge hole on me. I have fragments everywhere inside my body.
So when he shot you in the back, where did it hit you? Like what part of your back? The upper?
My upper, so it was T5, T6.
So T5, T6, so.
Yeah, pretty much like right here.
But right there.
But obviously through the back, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a little harder to get ab movement, ab contractions. But we still get it done,
I know.
We gotta put in the work.
So when he shot you, how close was he? Because
he wasn't far, man. Like I can see his face clearly. I saw him. He was maybe like a couple of feet away.
So that was not funny to talk about.
Yeah,
so what went through your mind when he pulled a gun? Like when you saw the gun, what was
I honestly, I saw his face, and he had this face of like, in a way, he was like happy to do it, like he had a face of like, you're done. So I remember it was like, I'm gonna cover my hands. It's like my hands is gonna cover, like it's gonna do something, but at least I covered my head, at least it didn't hit my head. So I guess covering my head did something good, right? It distracted him from hitting my head.
So the biggest question now is, do you still hate that guy, or have you forgive him, or do you have some sort of grudge toward him?
No, not at all, because I've learned that people make decisions, and sometimes it's not the right decision. Sometimes the person who made that decision, is going through things in life. And I've never thought about karma. I've never thought about wishing anyone the worst, just because I don't want to wish anything negative towards someone. Even though he did that to me and he left me in this position, But from him leaving me in this position has made me the person that I am now. And has made me a person stronger, not physically, but mentally. You know, I think different now. I see life in a different perspective. I see life as a positive thing. You know, I love living life, you know. Life's amazing, you know. Life is whatever you make it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to mentor him to be the next keynote speaker. You see this? Can like see the direction where we're going? Yeah, so the twist is, because we got deep, so, you know, what words of advice, since this is your first show competing in Wheelchair Bodybuilding, what advice would you give somebody to, you know, face the fears, actually get up and compete?
Obviously, to go up on stage and enjoy it, you know. Obviously, work hard, feel confident up there, and win or lose, enjoy the experience, you know. Enjoy the whole process of it, enjoy the people who you're competing with, but mostly be fair to the people that you're competing with, you know. If you lose, take it as an experience, learn, don't be what's called a sore loser, you know.
Exactly.
We have to stay positive. We're all competing against each other. Obviously, someone's going to lose, you know. We have to pick a winner.
Exactly.
So we have to just be positive, you know, and we have to love what we do. And we have to be positive, win or lose.
Exactly. Well, Xavier, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank
you're
you so
close.
much.
You're like
Yes,
this
sir.
close.
Yes,
because
sir.
that's going to be one of your future IFBB pros.
There you
And
go.
you're at it first.
Yeah, you
Signing
got
out.
the name, okay?
That's right.